Hey there tech fans, Rick here again with another review, and today I have the Orei UHD48-EX230-K 4x4 HDMI Matrix. This product makes it incredibly easy for you to share 4 different HDMI media sources with 4 remote locations up to 230 feet away in full 4K ultra high definition resolution over a single Cat6 cable. The product also features local loopback functionality, which allows you to enjoy the content here at the primary location while you're simultaneously broadcasting it to your remote locations. And because the product's a matrix, it allows you to send the same input to all 4 remote locations at the same time, or different inputs to each of those remote locations depending on your needs. And you can make that decision using the buttons on the front of the unit, the included remote control, or even through software. The product also features the very latest in power over cable technology, which means a single power supply is all you'll need to operate the entire solution. Also included with the kit is a set of infrared blasters for each of your remote locations that will capture the remote control signals from that location and pass those back over that same LAN connection to the primary location so you can actually control the content you're watching. Now, as part of this overview, I thought I'd start with an unboxing of the product just to show you all the components that are included, and then I'll take a closer look at the matrix and the receiver modules to explain the connections you'll need to make to use it with your own equipment, and then I'll come back and point out a few of the key features that really separate this product from a lot of other matrix on the market. So let's get started with the unboxing. When you open up the box, you'll find the matrix. You'll find the remote control that can be used to control it. You'll find an RS-232 connection block that can be used to control the unit through software, a bracketing kit you can use to mount this up off the ground and out of the way. You'll find a single power supply, 4 remote receivers. Each of these are exactly the same. You'll find a set of infrared blasters for each of those remote receivers, as well as a bracketing kit where you can mount these up off the ground and out of the way. You'll even find sticky pads you can use to attach these infrared blasters to your media equipment. There's also a programming cable included that you can use to connect this up to your computer to control your decisions through software, a warranty card, and a full instruction manual that lists diagrams and specifications and other information you'll need to understand how to use this with your own equipment. Now, if you stay tuned, next we'll take a closer look at the components, and then I'll come back and point out some of the features that really make this a special product. The HDMI Matrix features a full metal enclosure, which makes it extremely durable and helps to minimize outside interference from causing any issues with the electronics inside. On the side of the module, you'll find 2 cooling fans, and on the other side, ventilation slots, and they work together to pull cool air across the electronics during operation to keep everything at a comfortable temperature. On the bottom of the module, you'll find more ventilation slots that let any warm air that develops during operation escape, as well as 4 rubber feet that will keep this in a position where you left it and make sure it doesn't scratch the surface you set it down on. On the front of the module, starting on the left-hand side, you'll find a power button. It's used to turn the module on. The minute you turn this on and add power to it, it'll start an internal power on self-test where it's checking all the electronics to make sure everything's working okay. Once it passes that test, it'll light this LED letting you know it's ready to use. To the right of that is an infrared receiver window, and that's used in conjunction with the remote control, and that's where the signals from that remote control are picked up by the unit to allow you to make decisions on which input is sent to which output. To the right of that are 4 output indicators, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and each of these are showing you exactly what content is being sent to that location. Above that are 4 other LEDs, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are the input indicators. So if number 1 was lit right here on output number 1, that would mean input number 1 is being sent there. And you can step through these different inputs by tapping that button, or you can use the remote control or even through software. But that's the output indicator showing you which of the inputs are currently being sent to those 4 outputs. On the rear of the units where you'll make all your connections, starting on the left-hand side are 2 connections that can be used to programmatically control this from your computer. There's a standard LAN connection there, as well as an RS-232. You'll run a short cable from here to your computer or connect it up to your network, and you can run the software and actually program this remotely. To the right of that are 4 outputs, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and those are the connections you'll make to the remote locations. Standard Cat cable right here, it's a Cat6. Standard LAN connection, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You'll run a cable to the remote location, and that's the only connection you'll need. If you want to enjoy the local loopback functionality, you can also connect an HDMI cable up here to a monitor locally and enjoy the content you're broadcasting to that remote location while you're simultaneously broadcasting it. To the right of that are infrared blaster connections, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that's where you'll connect up the transmitter units that are part of that infrared blaster kit so that the signals that are received from those remote locations can be rebroadcast to your media products at this end so you can control the content you're watching. In the middle are the 4 HDMI inputs, so you're going to connect up your media devices 1, 2, 3, and 4 right here, and again control which of these is being sent to which of these outputs using the buttons on the front, the remote, or software. All the way to the right is a DC power port, and that's used with the included power supply, and that's all the power you'll need because the power over cable technology will take whatever power is delivered here and send it over that CAT cable to the remote locations and provide all the power those modules need to operate. The kit includes 4 receiver modules, all featuring metal enclosures to help reduce outside interference. On either side of the modules, you'll find ventilation slots that let any warm air that develops during operation escape. On the bottom of each of the receiver modules are a set of mounting holes that are used with the included bracketing kits to mount these off the ground if you choose to do that. On the one end of the module, you'll find a LAN port, and that's where the Cat6 cable from the Matrix connects. To the right of that is a service port. It's a micro USB connection, and that's used for pushing new firmware to the module that will update features and functions later on if needed. To the right of that is the infrared in port, and that's used with the infrared blaster kit receiver. It's a 3.5mm port. You simply plug it in there and put that receiver near your media equipment for operation. To the right of that is an optional power port. Now, because this system uses power over cable technology, you don't need a power supply at the remote location, but if you're not using that type of technology, you might want to use a power supply here, but for this kit, it's not needed. On the other end, you'll find a single HDMI output port, and that connects to whatever monitor you'd like to enjoy the content from the primary location on. And that's pretty much it for the receiver modules. Inside the kit, you'll also find a set of infrared blasters for each of the 4 remote locations, and even though they look fairly similar, if you look closely, you'll notice there is a difference between the modules on the end. This one's slightly larger than this one, and this is the receiver module that's located at the remote location to pick up your infrared signals from your remote control, and then those are transmitted over that LAN cable back to the Matrix location, where this one, which is a transmitter, actually rebroadcasts those signals to control the content you're watching. So it's very important when you're connecting this up that the larger module is at the remote location and the smaller module is at the Matrix location and pointing towards your media equipment so it can control it. I hope you found that helpful. And as I'd mentioned, a 4x4 Matrix is an interesting device because it allows you to take any one of the 4 HDMI inputs and send those to the remote locations. Now, what makes this product different is, number one, the distance it can extend it. 230 feet is a really long distance to be able to broadcast HDMI content to a remote location, and that's being done over a single Cat6 cable. And the fact that it also provides local loopback functionality means you can enjoy the content here while you're simultaneously broadcasting it to those remote locations. Another nice feature that's built into the unit is the power over cable technology, which greatly simplifies your wiring because a single power supply is all you'll need to operate the entire solution, unlike other products on the market that require power supplies at each of the remote locations. And finally, the inclusion of the infrared blaster kits means that you can actually receive those remote control signals from each of the remote locations over the same LAN cable and then broadcast those remote signals to your media down this end and actually control the content you're watching. All those things together really make this a pretty special unit, and everything you need to get started is included with the kit, and with a few simple connections you can be up and running in no time. So I hope you found this clip helpful, and until next time, stay nerdy!